Hey guys, what's up? So today's question comes from Michael Thompson, who is somebody that's on my email list. So I got an email come through last night, and Michael's question is, how can I stay on track and not keep failing? Now, that's quite a high level question. There's not a huge amount of specificity in terms of the specific things he's trying to achieve, etc. So for all I know, he could be talking about body, he could be talking about business, relationships, but either way, the principles are ultimately going to be the same. So when it comes to staying on track and obviously avoiding failure, or what we tend to perceive as failure every time we make a mistake or sabotage ourselves or get knocked off track and so on, the first thing that I find that we have to do, that many people fail to do, is accept the fact that change is going to be necessary. So our goal is to produce something different in our life, and often that different thing that we want is at a higher level than we're currently able to achieve or currently have the capacity to hold. So the catch 22 is, it's like, I see this thing, I want it, I know what I'm trying to get to, and I know the things I need to do, but quite often we're not yet at the level required to consistently act in alignment with that outcome. So what we then have to do is go, okay, well, in order to have this new thing or this change in my life, I must change first. Now, change takes place on three levels. First, at the level of self. So we must be willing to change ourselves and align ourselves with the new outcome that we want. Now, that might mean that I need to change my mindset. It might be that I have to up level my skill set or change my heart set, my way of thinking and operating on a daily basis is likely going to have to change. And quite often, if the thing that I want is big enough and I guess challenging enough, I may even need a complete identity shift. Doesn't mean I necessarily have to change who I am at the core, but the way I perceive myself and the way I operate, the things I do on a daily basis is going to have to change. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to identify differently to how I currently do. Now, yes, that can be a little bit of a process, but ultimately that's what we're going to need. I need to be a different person. I need to be the person that lives in accordance with the outcome that I want. So that's the first thing. We have to change self. Now, second, we also have to look at the level of others, because change may also be required at the level of others. Now, you've probably heard the saying before that we are the sum of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So what I would encourage you to do, if you're struggling to stay on track yourself, or you keep feeling like you're failing and sabotaging yourself, is you'll want to look at the people who are in your immediate circle of friends and peers and colleagues and so on, because it may be that they're not helping you, they're not serving you, they're not supporting you in the attainment of these things that you want. It may not even be that they are deliberately trying to sabotage you, but it might be that you don't want to move outside of the comfort zone of those people that you have around you, which is fine. Quite often you can keep them, but it may mean that you need to add in additional people who are going to help you level up and help you become the person you need to be, so that you can consistently take the actions you need to take. And then finally, the final thing that is most likely going to need to change is our environment. So change will take place at the level of self, others, and environment. Now, environment, for example, it could be, let's say the goal is fat loss, but your fridge is full of junk food and your cupboards are full of junk food. Now, of course, that's not an environment that's conducive to the outcome of fat loss. So you're going to have to change, tweak, and adapt certain aspects of your environment in order to bring them into alignment with the outcome that you want. That way it's going to be much easier for you to stay on track and not be tempted by these things that maybe aren't going to get you where you want to go. So they're the 3 aspects that I would look at if you're sort of worried about not being able to stay on track, or you constantly feel as though you're failing and sabotaging yourself. You've got to first accept that change is necessary, and then realize that that change may be necessary both at the level of self, others, and environment. Now, of course, if you want me to go into any specific tactics around this, I can do. Post your comments on questions below. And of course, I'll get back to you with an updated video with more specificity on the things that you can do. But just understand that step 1 is accepting the fact that change is necessary. That's key. We need that mindset shift in order to then align ourselves with, okay, well, now I'm thinking different in alignment to this thing, or in accordance to this thing. I can now act differently and therefore have a different outcome. So that's what I'll leave you with today, guys. If you have any questions, of course, post them below. Or if you have any questions of your own that aren't related to this, of course, you can post a comment on the feed, or you can email me on questions@titanhealth.com, and I will get back to you guys as soon as I can with an answer. Take it easy, people, and I look forward to chatting.